Hey yo, X Lugo here. I just arrived at the last zone of the campaign on cruel mode. We are in the Black Chambers. We are about to fight Doriani. So I just wanted to go over, I guess, the part two of my first video. The first video I was talking about using the lightning arrow, lightning rod, and Herald of Thunder. That's fine if you wish to continue to use that. Just upgrade the skill gems and upgrade your bow and quiver about every maybe like seven levels, 7 to 10 levels. I decided to transition my skills into Ice Shot, Freezing Salvo, and Herald of Ice. And also I added the row amount. You can also add the row amount to the first version. It's fine. It makes everything so much smoother for bow users. The reason why I switched to it just so it keeps the game fresh and I don't want to use the same skills for another 3 acts of the campaign. I just wanted to show you guys how the I guess the build works
Ah,
in the last
yes.
zone of the cruel
Another
campaign.
arrogant
You're pretty
man
much on your
erects a
Roa the whole
statue in his
time
own
and just
honor.
freezing
How
everything with
vulgar.
every shot. Things blow
Cool.
up because of Herald of Ice, freezing everything. This is pretty much it. When you come to the boss fights, I'll show you the final boss as well. You just freeze it and then easy. Easiest game of my life.
I've had
And we
worse
gotta find
welcomes.
her. Yeah, this is pretty much it with the gameplay. I will go over the skills after I'm done with this zone here. And then I'll show you the passive tree as well and give you some tips on how I scaled my damage to go higher. Just so you guys know what to do for both versions, not just this Ice Shot version. But yeah, I will see you later. Alright y'all, we're gonna go over the skill gems real quick for the Ice Shot version. So what I have here, Ice Shot, of course, I did put quality on it. The quality actually increases the attack damage, which is very useful. I highly recommend if you have some extra gem cutters to improve the quality. We're going to go with the first attack speed and then more elemental damage. Code Infusion to gain more damage as extra code damage. And this one, you get more damage, but 30% more movement speed penalty while you're using the supportive skill. Funny thing is, while you're on your mount, the penalty to movement speed does not take effect, so you get 20% more damage for free. So this is very useful. Do not use this if you don't plan on using the mount. Instead, use maybe Ricochet. If you only have three sockets here, and you do want to use the mount, I would take off Code Infusion, take that off, and then put this one as your third support gen. I was lucky enough to get a greater Jeweler's Orb in Act 1 of Cruel Mode, which was very nice. But like if you do have an extra greater Jeweler's Orb, just do the 4 that I've showed you at first. Let's put that back. Freeze and Salvo. We're using Hourglass. 10-second cooldown, but you get more damage. The 10-second cooldown is fine because as Freeze and Salvo is charging up about 12, I guess, freezing rockets, I call them. That's what I call them. 10 seconds is fine, and you will freeze almost every rare and almost every boss with one shot of these. But you're shooting your arrows while this is going off because for some reason the game is so smooth when it comes to using freeze and salvo. While you're shooting your ice shots, you can press this skill gem and this will go off while you're shooting ice shots. It's very nice actually. Code exposure and ice bite for those for the freeze and salvo. Then we're using our herald of ice here, more area of effect, long shot, and code mastery. I use vine arrows, so with vine arrow I mostly use it so it can give me rage with this support, mana with this support, and just this is so it's on the ground for longer. So what I do is when I freeze a boss, I would shoot this vine arrow at it and stand right next to the boss while I'm gaining rage and mana and just keeps spamming my ice shot while the boss is frozen. You do ton, a ton of burst damage with that combo. Going down here, So Wind Dancer and Ghost Dance, I had extra spirit on my chest piece. If you do not have extra spirit, that's okay. You do not need Wind Dancer or Ghost Dance. If you by any chance do have extra spirit for these two, these are the support gems I use for them. Pin and Lockdown for Wind Dancer, and then Ghost Dance is fast forward and precision. Your mount, row mount. Once you get this at level, I think it's 58. Yes, 58. The game just becomes a breeze. You're just riding your mount and just shooting your ice shots, freezing everything, killing everything. And make sure if you do get hit a couple times, your stun meter for the mount does not go down passively. You must jump off of it and then just jump back on. There's no really initial cooldown. You just have to jump off and jump on it. That's pretty much it. Meat shield, elemental resistance, elemental army, and then you get 30% increased mana regen while you're on your mount. So it's pretty good. That's about it for the gems. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment on the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer, and I'm sure people in the community are nice enough to answer and give like better suggestions. I am still pretty new to the PoE like scene. I try my best to just make things as casual as they can be for someone who's maybe a full-time worker or student or whatever, like I am. So yeah, just feel free to shoot your comments or questions or whatever. I would appreciate it much for my channel, really. Yeah, let's go over the gear next. Alright, while leveling, the most important gear you could change for the ranger is the bow and the quiver. Like I said in the last video, and it applies to this one too, no matter what version you're doing, you must be changing your bow and your quiver almost at least 7 to 10 levels, making your damage like scale up so you can kill enemies with either 1 or 2 shots. Now, the higher your damage is for the ice shot, the faster you freeze enemies and bosses. So here's I guess I'll show you my bow and what certain mods you want to look out for. Increased physical damage is your number one. Attack speed, I would say, is your number two. And if you can get one of the twin bows that shoot an additional arrow, if you don't find one of these, that's fine. I bought this one on the trade market for about I think it was 6 exalts. So I mean, it's pretty cheap if you can find one of these. And then a quiver, you want to look for something that gives you increased damage with bow skills. I'm laughing because I was lucky enough to corrupt this and get increased skill speed on top of increased attack speed, which is really lucky actually. And then you want something that will give you now. This one has increased critical chance for attacks, and my bow also has critical hit chance. You don't really need that in the campaign. It's hard to stack that during the campaign. This is pretty much me future-proofing my guy for some maps later on. If you wish to do the same, that's fine, but it's not mandatory. The most important thing for the campaign is increased damage with bow skills on the quiver and attack speed, and then for the bow is increased physical damage and attack speed. Those are your two main mods or affixes or whatever you want to call them that you need on your weapons. And then for the bow, I use Iron Runes to increase more physical damage. Now my gear is pretty bad. I mean, I have a helmet that's level 11. Don't matter really. You're mostly on your mount, um, riding around. You're not really gonna get hit. My chest piece, it's level 30. I was lucky enough to get something with spirit, so I just kept it the whole time. So I could use Wind Dancer and Ghost Dance. And my rings, they're pretty butt. I mean, I'm just using it for some more rarity. Boots, though, you gotta get some boots that are at least 20% movement speed, just so you're not a slowpoke. Belt, I have a belt that gave me 2 charms, so I was like, sure, why not? I'll keep this. Even though it's level 15, it doesn't really matter. And then gloves, you know, I kept these gloves just because Had some increased rarity. I was lucky enough to get some good loot throughout the campaign, like that Greater's Jeweler's Orb I was talking about. Amulet, just the amulet I found gave me more spirits. I was like, okay, let me just put this on. Whatever, it don't matter. What one of the charms I do use is grants immunity to freeze. I hate freezing. And then bleeding. Bleeding sucks. Drains your health and your potions. But yeah, potions are regular potions. Just upgrade them whenever you get new ones. Now, if you wish to use this unique here for the ice shot version, since we are going to be, chilling all the enemies we hit, this would improve your clear speed, but it's not mandatory. Really, the clip I just showed you, I'm not using this ring, so it works fine without it. If you wish to use this so things are, exploding in a bigger radius, that's fine. I almost dropped my controller, but that's okay. I mean, you really don't have to use this. In my opinion, this used to be one of the best rings last league, but now with all the Herald nerfs, I mean, I don't think anyone really uses this anymore. It's just a waste of a slot, in my opinion. You could get something way better in your ring slot. But yeah, that's it for the gear. Just a recap. Make sure your bow is up to date with your level. I mean, this bow is level 55. I'm level 63. That's fine. And then your quiver as well is up to date. That's pretty much it. All right, let's go over the passive tree and the ascendancy tree. So the first ascendancy node I get is Gathering Winds. It gives you Tailwind. Tailwind is very nice, makes everything so much faster. And then I got Point Blank for my second. This is different than the last version on the previous video with Lightning Arrow. For Lightning Arrow, just keep the same ascendancy node here. Don't change it to Point Blank. Um, Then, good news, the passive tree pretty much stays the same for both versions. So if you're doing the version 1 with Lightning Arrow on the mount as well, you can follow the same passive tree that is on this video now, and it will work with it as well. I will tell you what nodes do not work, that way you don't have to get them. It's mostly the ones that give you freeze. Instead of freeze, just change them to shock. That's pretty much it. Alright, going down this way, you should have all these nodes from the first version. We go down here, get this little tree here just to give you more movement speed and skill speed. And then going up here, you should have all these nodes for the Herald stuff here. And then I got these nodes so I get more crit chance. Now this will help a lot if you do decide to get some crit chance on your quiver and bow. If you don't, it's not a big deal. Coming down to this way, got some more nodes here for quiver effect, increases your quiver mods that you have. You got Falcon Technique here, and then we move up this way, get these nodes here, Blinding Strike, more attack damage. Coming up here, so this is one of the nodes I have for my Ice Shot, increases freeze buildup and extra code damage. So what you would get instead would be these nodes here, increased chance to shock and extra lightning damage if you're doing the lightning arrow version. But since I'm doing the ice shot version, I've gotten these nodes here. Coming in here, you get more skill speed, more mana regen, skill speed. This gives you more attack and cast speed, some dex and intelligence. Coming up here, you get more crit damage here. We go this way. I don't even have a jewel on my jewel socket. I haven't really paid attention. I'm gonna get one for maps. Get these nodes here. And then that should be it for level 63. Yeah, I'm at the final boss of the campaign, so this is really all the nodes I have for the campaign. If you do get to 64 or 65, you could get these nodes here. I started coming here for more defensive nodes. You get this one, go in here, and get this one. So you have more evasion and energy shield to be just a bit more tankier in your gameplay. Yeah, I hope this helps for anyone who's playing a ranger or wants to play a ranger and have, really no clue of what to do with the passive tree, hopefully this is a guideline to just help out, those players that need it, or people who just want a new idea, really. I mean, luckily the ranger is kind of similar to the monk on how you scale them. So I played the monk last league, and I pretty much used the knowledge I know for the monk and just scaled the ranger that way, and it works so far. I haven't gotten to maps yet, but it works so far. But yeah, uh, that's it for the passive tree. If you guys have any questions about the passive tree, like I said before, just shoot your questions or comments in the section below. And yeah, for jewel sockets, let me just give you an example of what you want to look for. Attack speed. Now I have increased crossbow reload speed. That's garbage. We don't use crossbows. If you have something like increased bow damage, that's fine. Evasion rating is fine. If you're using lightning arrow, maybe like elemental damage or freeze build if you're using ice shot or something like that. But jewel sockets aren't really important right now until we get to maps. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Alright, just want to show you guys the final boss of the campaign on cruel mode.
So, at the eve of the end, the demon of Vatzoatl has finally come.
Oh boy.
For
Get some tailwind up.
Cool off.
Do that. He's almost frozen. You drop your vine on him, stand right next to him. Look at that damage. He's about to phase to this next like robot phase, whatever.
You will burn.
Now when he phases to his robot stage, right? And then you have some stun buildup on your mount. That's the perfect time to get off of it and refresh it for sure. Come on, bro, phase. He's not moving. There we go.
I must save my people.
You know why we're
Alright, we're chilling.
It happened. It cannot be stopped.
Freezing salvo for the win, right?
Succeed. One death is nothing for the greater
Alright, he's about to freeze again. There it is. Throw your vine. Stand next to your vine. Do a ton of damage if you can. Run around.
You think you can stand in my way?
Freezing salvo.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Okay, this you could just like run around. That's fine. He's frozen. Throw your vine down. Try your best to stand next to the vine so you're getting rage.
No.
Freezing salvo.
My grasp.
I'm out of flask. Uh-oh. I get some flask back.
Cool off.
This is not over yet.
Uh-oh. Alright. Freezing salvo.
I will die.
And he's done.
No. Do not fail me.
I was chugging the flasks, huh? But yeah, that's about it for the boss fights. Every boss is pretty much like that. You freeze it, you throw your vine down, stand next to the vine, and then just do some burst damage.
Sacrificed.
That's about it.
People cannot be
Cool.
saved.
Campaign's over.
History is already.
Thanks guys for watching my videos. Not just this one, the other build guides that I've made. I'll link all of those in the description below if you want to check them out again. Please subscribe and like the video. The channel has been growing a lot since the Dawn of the Hunt released a couple weeks ago. Thank you again. Not sure what's next for the Ranger, but we shall see. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.